of it all is the fact that you stay inspired. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and we come to you live from the Nile Avenue. Now, looking at what the week was like, well, some of the stories that have really been on trend, especially with the netizens, it's the Peter Pan syndrome. And that is in specific to refer to the internet feud between General Muhoozi and Honorable Baryomunsi in regards to politics and internet use. Very interesting conversations on there, but really Peter Pan is a word that has been making rounds on the streets, internet streets of Uganda. Well, I'm not alone in studio. I am with Robert Kirabo Nyonyintano and John Murungi. John, good morning. What have you been looking at? What has made your week?
Good morning to you, our viewers. The weekend is finally here. Some of you, Friday is a day you pretend to be productive at work, but when you come, when is it clocking 5 so that you get out of that office?
Is that pun intended?
At times it's intentional. But regardless, it is a calm morning. It's the sun is promising to be out bright already, and we are just here to say we are here to wind up the week with you. What I was looking at yesterday mainly was the opening of the new law year, and what I noticed, my key point was the Chief Justice, that is Flavian Zeija, who issued a strong warning. But before that, he announced plans of opening up or establishing a judicial museum so that the legal history is preserved of Uganda. But then later on, issued a strong warning to social media users, those of you who have a habit of intimidating and harassing judges and magistrates while they are performing their duties. And he said, while it is legitimate to criticize court decisions, it is not really important, and it is out of the law for someone out there to attack personally a judge or a magistrate, and said that these attacks undermine judicial independence and public confidence in the justice system. So for those of you who think you're untouchable, imagine having harassed a judge and you're fronted in front of that specific judge that you harassed personally. So there's some things we need to do away with when it comes to social media, even if it is not a judge or a magistrate, even on other people. I've seen some of the TikTokers who have been imprisoned because of liberal statements and defamation and so forth. So let's try to desist from that because the law will just hold you accountable. Good morning.
Definitely. So now, Robert, good morning, and what's been your story of the week?
Well, good morning to you, Julie, and of course you.
Yes, sir.
And above all, our viewer, thank you very much for waking up with us this morning. Now, I have two stories. One that was trending on social media. Now, on a certain local station, there were two elect members of parliament. That is of Machindye, Honorable Muryanyama, now I can say, and Justin Namere. Now, this has trended where it seems one tried to climb a tree, forgetting that the higher the monkey climbs, the more it exposes whatever it exposes, but I would use its weakness. Now, so one of the honorables tried to climb a tree and forgot that the tree he was climbing was a bit high. And as a monkey climbs, definitely you see what it leaves behind for the people to see. Now, that has made rounds on social media, but also in the mainstream, the victory of Honorable Justice Namere. I've seen a number of lawyers come in, I've seen trying to study the law, say this, say that. But by and large, it is a victory that set a precedent, because when we look at the findings in the recount, we exposed a lot that I feel the Electoral Commission has so much to do and to pick interest. How did this happen? Our Justice Simon Byabakama, it is now time to go back and say, but yes, court, this is what was found in the recount. How possible did these things happen?
I agree
Empty
with you.
boxes
Broken seals.
How did this happen? So I think even scholars of law and electoral democracy It is a case that they must interest themselves to study. It doesn't set precedence in terms of ruling because that court is not the high court, the courts that really set precedent in law. But there is something that interested me. And now, away from that, also yesterday I saw a challenge. You know, there is being in an office and you have to say certain things. Honorable, because now she's honorable elect, she's a member of parliament for Kampala Central. Honorable Misa Kavanda yesterday had to perform her noble role as the minister for Kampala. To
Which
come
she
out,
is still serving as.
she's still serving, and ban or give vendors a grace period of 2 weeks to vacate the streets. Now remember, she has just won an election. She's the Kampala Central member of parliament, but she's the minister, and it's hard to make this communication. And I want to commend her. If it were me in that position, I'll leave that to a spokesperson or somebody else.
Okay, CCA.
She's a brave woman.
No,
so she had to come and communicate that and tell vendors that you're given a grace period of only 2 weeks to leave those streets. Kampala had turned into something else.
How did they come to the
And
streets in the first
also
place?
Tell taxi drivers you've been parking anywhere.
Border stages
and
that
the
are not-
borders. If
Yes.
you're not in gazetted stages, they will impound your vehicles, they will impound your motorcycles, and you face the wrath of the law. To the vendors, you face the wrath of the law.
Right.
So, yes, Mr. Kavanda. it is
Surely, surely, indeed, I agree with you on, you know, having to put your face out there, especially
At such a point
at
of
such a
time.
point. You've
I
just
know.
been elected
You know, yeah.
as a member of parliament for Kampala, a place that was not even, you know, under the NRM government, and now is
Under the NRM party.
government. Oh, sorry, yeah, under the NRM party. Thank you for that, John. And right now, it has to be your brand that you're fronting to break the but it's rather
That's why you
Imagining
said
the
I'm
courage.
coming to fight
I'm
for-
imagining the courage. I know what is bothering all these traders.
Anyways, on that note, Robert, let's dig straight into what we have on the local scene.
Well, we begin with the opening of the new law year, where President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni asked the judiciary to ensure timely, accessible, and affordable justice for all Ugandans. The president made the call while opening the new law year 2026 held at the judiciary headquarters in Kampala. The judiciary officials opened the new year 2026 during a ceremony held at headquarters. The function was graced by the president, who was represented by the vice president, retired Major Jessica Alupo. President Museveni also urged the judiciary to ensure cheap, efficient, and easy access to justice for all Ugandans. The Chief Justice, Dr. Flavian Nzeije, highlighted key achievements registered by the judiciary in 2025, noting that over 258,075 cases were disposed of despite challenges that affected overall performance. While opening the new year, the Chief Justice outlined the judiciary's priorities for 2026, including expanding access to justice through construction of courts across the country, recruitment of more judicial officers, and embracing technology. Justice Jay-Z also pledged to access online. He also pledged to address online attacks and criticism targeting judicial officers, noting that such attacks affect them both professionally and personally. The Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, pledged government support towards the judiciary, including efforts to increase its budget from 442.2 billion shillings to 800 billion shillings. Kampala Capital City Authority has announced the commencement of enforcing city laws and ordinances to free the city of congestion caused by illegal traders, border cyclists, and taxis on the streets. The Minister for Kampala, Hajat Misa Kabanda, said the exercise will extend to areas in Kampala Metropolitan and called for cooperation from key stakeholders, emphasizing that the move is geared towards having an organized city. The freedom that street vendors were enjoying in the last few months came to an end as Kampala Capital City Authority announced massive enforcement of city laws and ordinances to clear the Uganda's capital of congestion. The exercise will affect street vendors, border cyclists, and taxi operating from illegal stages. All taxi operators have been directed to to use designated taxi parks, while traders in the 16 public markets in Kampala are to be used. The Minister for Kampala, Hajat Misa Kabanda, described the exercise as an order in the city. However, Kampala Capital City Authority promised to engage with traders to ensure the smooth running of the enforcement exercise. This is not the first time KCCA is embarking on decongesting the city. This time round, it remains to be seen whether the fruits of enforcement will be sustained. Only Ugandans who pay a refundable visa bond ranging from $5,000 to $15,000 will qualify for consideration for a single entry B1/B2 visa issued for tourists and business travels to the United States. Uganda is among the listed 35 countries, mostly in Africa, whose nationals have been cited for overstaying in the US beyond the permitted duration. Effectively 21st January 2026, Ugandans intending to travel to the United States for business or tourism will face stricter requirements. US Embassy officials said the policy is aimed to reduce visa overstay. Payment of the bond does not guarantee visa approval though. However, the money is refunded within 30 days after the traveler returned and shows compiled and complied with the agreed visa conditions. Officials said it is also possible for a family or a friend can cater for the needed bond requirement to qualify. Uganda's inclusion follows data from US Migration and the Department of Homeland Security showing high overstay rates. Authorities also cite frequent attempts by visitors to change visa status after entry, including tourists and business travelers seeking unauthorized extensions. Uganda's Ministry for Foreign Affairs has re-echoed the US appeal for Ugandans to travel only for legitimate purposes, noting that many seek government interventions after visa denials or violations. Meanwhile, issuance of migrant visas remain on hold. The bond requirement appeals to tourists, business travelers, medical patients, and those attending events such as the FIFA World Cup. Students are exempted from this policy. Seeking treatment.
Piece of land.
That's about 52 million. Oh. Now, Uganda Law Society has released the 2026 general election report that indicates incidents that happened during elections and the way elections were conducted. The report, read by the Vice President, Uganda Law Society, Anthony Asiimwe, indicates violations of the electoral process and human rights, including some arrests. The report was released at the Uganda Law Society head offices in Kampala as they were opening their new year. The report also highlights gaps in transparency, including vote tallying, calling for reforms to restore public confidence in the electoral process. The report also pointed out arrests before, during, and after elections, not eliminating the low voter turnout during the elections. Meanwhile, Henry Muguzi from Constitutional Center for Governance highlighted key challenges faced by observers during elections that hindered their work. Although these challenges did not hinder them from carrying out their work, the society commended electoral stakeholders, election observers who participated in the elections and pledged their support towards promoting human rights. Now, that brings us to the end of our local stories this morning. Let's see what she has for us on the international scene.
And from the global coverage, we are starting off with the peace talk, proposed peace talks between U.S. and Iran. Now, senior U.S. and Iranian officials are expected to meet in Oman later for direct talks amid a crisis that has raised fears of a military confrontation between the two countries. The discussions come after a U.S. military buildup in the Middle East in response to Iran's violent repression of nationwide anti-government protests last month. The human rights groups say it killed many thousands of people. Uncertainty over the location and scope had threatened to derail the talks, which are part of a diplomatic effort by regional mediators to de-escalate tensions. Both countries remain far apart in their positions. The hope is that, if successful, the discussions could lead to a framework of negotiations. The U.S., which is demanding Iran freezes its nuclear program and discards its stockpile of enriched uranium, had said the talks should also involve Iran's ballistic missiles, the country's support for regional armed groups, and its treatment of its citizens. Iran, however, has said the discussions will be limited to its nuclear program, and it is unclear if these differences have been resolved. But in recent weeks, President Donald Trump has threatened to bomb Iran if it does not reach a deal. The U.S. has sent thousands of troops and what Trump has described as an armada to the region, including an aircraft carrier along with other warships, as well as fighter jets. Now, forging forward, Sir Keir Starmer has apologized to the victims of Jeffrey Epstein for believing Lord Mandelson's lies and appointing him as the UK's ambassador to the US. The Prime Minister began a planned speech on funding to improve local communities by addressing the growing anger over how he had dealt with the issue. While he acknowledged it had been publicly known for some time that Lord Mandelson knew Epstein, he said, "None of us knew the depth and the darkness of that relationship." However, Conservative leader Kem Badenoch said the Prime Minister's position was untenable, while the Liberal Democrats called for a confidence vote to see if Labour MPs supported him. The Prime Minister is facing calls from some of his own MPs to stand down, while the handful of backbenchers to do so publicly are frequent critics of the Prime Minister. Many more have raised concerns privately. Sir Kem's former political director, Luke Sullivan, said he thought that Prime Minister was fighting for his premiership. He told the BBC's newscast, "I don't think you can understate how serious the situation and the peril is that the Prime Minister finds himself in." And coming back to the mother of nature, that is Africa, on a sad note, dozens of people have been killed in a ferocious shooting attack on two villages in Nigeria's western state of Kwara after they refused to surrender to extremists who preached a strange doctrine, according to the state's governor. Governor Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak said on X that 75 local Muslims were massacred in Tuesday's raid, while a state lawmaker told the BBC that 78 people had been buried so far, and the death toll could rise to an estimated 170 as more corpses were being recovered. Blaming Islamist militant group Boko Haram for the killings, President Bola Tinubu deployed an army battalion to the affected area. The assault was one of several across Nigeria in the last few days. In addition to the killings in the villages of Woro and Nuku, 38 people were abducted while others fled and shops and homes were set alight, said Saidu Baba Ahmed, a member of the Kwara State House of Assembly. Among the dead were two sons of the local traditional leader, who also had family members kidnapped, and this is according to local resident Abdullah Umar Usman. The attack began at 1700 local time and lasted 3 to 4 hours, he told the BBC. That brings us to the end of our international coverage.
Right, thank you very much, Joanne. Now, that brings us to also look at what we have in the dailies. A reminder, by the way, that today, the 6th of February, I almost said January, but February, is the 45 years celebration of the Uganda People's Defense Army, that is Tarehe Sita, with the theme Defending the Gains of the Revolution and honoring the sacrifice of the freedom fighters, a call for national unity, peace, and socio-economic transformation. On that note, starting off with the new vision, and the headline there is Best PLE Teachers, and a list of them all displayed there, how they managed to produce distinctions, offering tips on making learners excel. Also in the Tarehe Sita, 16-page special supplement inside.
16-page?
16-page. And CAR military chief hails UPDF. Picture there of the chief with General Muhoozi. and of course 45th Tarehesita celebrations. Now looking at the Daily Monitor, the headline there is UPDF Evolution. And of course a picture there of now the current president of Uganda, and as well the president-elect during his time during the war. That is the Daily Monitor for you. And of course, Uganda to step up US visa compliance drive. Opportunities for jobs in their government seeks to hire former Ethiopian Airlines CEO to lead national carrier. Now looking at the Citizen in Tanzania, the economic ripple effect of 8-lane Mandela Road. That's the headline there. And Tanzania commits 15.7 billion shillings to tackle rising NCD crisis. Also Tanzania travel warnings, safety guidance, or unbalanced picture. That is from Tanzania. And looking at Kenya with the Daily Nation, families' agony as 5 suffer cancer. Ooh, that's so sad. Also revealed Dozier that opposition tabled a week to Majan's exit. All of that and more stories in the Daily Nation. For now, looking at the Gazette in there, it's a table of contents that starts off with the Gazette, but looking at the specifics as well, the specifics come to the fact that be it known that on the 24th day of October 2025, Galabuze Stephen, an advocate of the High Court, has been appointed to be Commissioner for Oaths under the above-mentioned Act for so long as he continues to practice as such advocate, and the commission is not revoked, given under the hand of Alphonse Chigamoy Owiny-Dollo as of the 24th day of October 2025. And also be it known that on the 12th day of December 2025, Akankwatsa Helen, an advocate of the High Court, has been appointed to be a Commissioner for Oaths under the above-mentioned Act for so long as she continues to practice as such advocate, and the commission is not revoked, given under the hand of the Chief Justice Alphonse Chigamoy Owiny-Dollo as of the 12th day of December 2025. Also be it known that on the 12th day of December 2025, Okuni Innocent, an advocate of the High Court, has been appointed to be a Commissioner for Oaths under the above-mentioned Act for so long as he continues to practice as such advocate, and the commission is not revoked, given under the hand of the Chief Justice Alphonse Chigamoy Owiny-Dollo as of the 12th day of December 2025, and a place to recognize for marriage, that is the Church in Ntungamo Worship Center, Yesu Akwagala, denomination Born Again Village, Nyabubare and Parish Kahunga, Sub-County Western Division Municipality, County Ntungamo Municipality, and District is in Ntungamo, under the hand of the Honorable Norbert Mao, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, 30th day of January 2026. On that note, let's have a short break. We'll be back with another conversation. Just be sure to save the number 0709602592 to be part of the conversation, because at the end of the day, you are at the center of these conversations. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
You're glowing, you color and fracture the light. You can't help but shine.
It is now time to go back and say, but yes, court, this is what was found in the recount. How possible did these things happen?
I agree
Empty
with you.
boxes, boxes
Broken
have been
seals.
you know, how did this happen? So I think even scholars of law and electoral democracy, it is a case that they must interest themselves to study. It doesn't set precedence in terms of ruling, because that court is not the high court, the courts that really set precedent in law. But there's something that interested me. And now, away from that, also yesterday I saw a challenge. You know, there is being in an office, and you have to say certain things. Honorable, because now she's honorable elect, she's a member of parliament for Kampala Central. Honorable Misa Kavanda yesterday had to perform her noble role as the minister for Kampala. To
Which
come
she
out,
is still serving as.
she's still serving, and ban or give vendors a grace period of 2 weeks to vacate the streets. Now remember, she has just won an election. She's the Kampala Central Woman Member of Parliament, but she's the minister, and it's hard to make this communication. And I want to commend her. If it were me in that position, I'll leave that to a spokesperson or somebody else.
Okay, CCA.
She's a brave woman.
No,
so she had to come and communicate that and tell vendors that you're given a grace period of only 2 weeks to leave those streets. Kampala had turned into something else.
How did they come to the
And
streets in the first
also,
place?
Tell taxi drivers, you've been parking anywhere.
Border stages,
and
the
the borders. If
Yes.
you're not in gazetted stages, they will impound your vehicles, they will impound your motorcycles, and you face the wrath of the law. To
Right.
the vendors, you face the wrath of the law.
Right.
So, yes, Mr. Kavanda. it is
Surely, surely, indeed, I agree with you on, you know, having to put your face out there, especially
At such a point
at
of
such a
time.
point, you've
I
just
know.
been elected
You know, yeah.
as a member of parliament for Kampala, a place that was not even, you know, under the NRM government, and now is
Under the NRM party.
government. Oh, sorry, yeah, under the NRM party. Thank you for that, John. And right now, it has to be your brand that you're fronting to break the but it's rather.
Imagine in the
I'm
courage.
having to fight
I'm imagining the courage. I know what is bothering all these traders.
Anyways, on that note, Robert, let's dig straight into what we have on the local scene.
Well, we begin with the opening of the new law year, where President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni asked the judiciary to ensure timely, accessible, and affordable justice for all Ugandans. The president made the call while opening the new law year 2026 held at the judiciary headquarters in Kampala. The judiciary officials opened the new year 2026 during a ceremony held at headquarters. The function was graced by the president, who was represented by the vice president, retired Major Jessica Alupo. President Museveni also urged the judiciary to ensure cheap, efficient, and easy access to justice for all Ugandans. The Chief Justice, Dr. Flavian Nzeije, highlighted key achievements registered by the judiciary in 2025, noting that over 258,075 cases were disposed of despite challenges that affected overall performance. While opening the new year, the Chief Justice outlined the judiciary's priorities for 2026, including expanding access to justice through construction of courts across the country, recruitment of more judicial officers, and embracing technology. Justice Jay-Z also pledged to access online. He also pledged to address online attacks and criticism targeting judicial officers, noting that such attacks affect them both professionally and personally. The Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, pledged government support towards the judiciary, including efforts to increase its budget from 442.2 billion shillings to 800 billion shillings. Kampala Capital City Authority has announced the commencement of enforcing city laws and ordinances to free the city of congestion caused by illegal traders, border cyclists, and taxis on the streets. The Minister for Kampala, Hajat Misa Kabanda, said the exercise will extend to areas in Kampala Metropolitan and called for cooperation from key stakeholders, emphasizing that the move is geared towards having an organized city. The freedom that street vendors were enjoying in the last few months came to an end as Kampala Capital City Authority announced massive enforcement of city laws and ordinances to clear the Uganda's capital of congestion. The exercise will affect street vendors, border cyclists, and taxi operating from illegal stages. All taxi operators have been directed to use designated taxi parks, while traders in the 16 public markets in Kampala are to be used. The Minister for Kampala, Hajat Misa Kabanda, described the exercise as an order in the city. However, Kampala Capital City Authority promised to engage with traders to ensure the smooth running of the enforcement exercise. This is not the first time KCCA is embarking on decongesting the city. This time round, it remains to be seen whether the fruits of enforcement will be sustained. Only Ugandans who pay a refundable visa bond ranging from $5,000 to $15,000 will qualify for consideration for a single entry B1/B2 visa issued for tourists and business travels to the United States. Uganda is among the listed 35 countries, mostly in Africa, whose nationals have been cited for overstaying in the US beyond the permitted duration. Effectively 21st January 2026, Ugandans intending to travel to the United States for business or tourism will face stricter requirements. US Embassy officials said the policy is aimed to reduce visa overstay. Payment of the bond does not guarantee visa approval though. However, the money is refunded within 30 days after the traveler returned and shows compiled and complied with the agreed visa conditions. Officials said it is also possible for a family or a friend can cater for the needed bond requirement to qualify. Uganda's inclusion follows data from US Migration and the Department of Homeland Security showing high overstay rates. Authorities also cite frequent attempts by visitors to change visa status after entry, including tourists and business travelers seeking unauthorized extensions. Uganda's Ministry for Foreign Affairs has re-echoed the US appeal for Ugandans to travel only for legitimate purposes, noting that many seek government interventions after visa denials or violations. Meanwhile, issuance of migrant visas remain on hold. The bond requirement appeals to tourists, business travelers, medical patients, and those attending events such as the FIFA World Cup. Students are exempted from this policy.
That's like a
Seeking treatment.
piece of land.
That's about
That's
52 million. Now, Uganda Law Society has released the 2026 general election report that indicates incidents that happened during elections and the way elections were conducted. The report, read by the Vice President, Uganda Law Society, Anthony Asimwe, indicates violations of the electoral process and human rights, including some arrests. The report was released at the Uganda Law Society head offices in Kampala as they were opening their new year. The report also highlights gaps in transparency, including votes.
I'm paying both taxes on my own premises. If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790 141 887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV. And it's a Friday, so we get a little loose and definitely talk about conversations that are affecting all of us, but in a rather relatable manner to all of us as we experience life day in, day out. This is Good Morning Uganda on UBC TV. And we come to you live from the Nile Avenue. 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should join and be part of every conversation. Now, this particular morning, we are looking at learners and everything school. 10th February, which is next week, is when children or school-going students and pupils are going back to school, reporting back to school officially, a date given by the government of Uganda under the Ministry of Education. So we want to see how prepared learners are for the new school term. And a lot to fix in there, to talk about in there. So that means you two have an opinion and have something to say in regards to this. You have a learner, you are a learner, or you've been a learner before and you've seen the challenges that you do not want others walking in the same exact shoes to face. Be part of the show. You are a parent, you are a teacher, you are a school owner. This is your conversation to be part of and to contribute to. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono and Joan Moronji. Once again, good morning. And we'll start with how prepared the learners, the parents, should be for this new term. And I'll allow John to speak into this particular matter. John, in your perspective,
of course,
how prepared should parents be?
Like I said yesterday, the inception begins with the parents. They're the ones who decide whether to send the child to school or not. Because you as a child or a learner, you might want to go to school, but when the parent does not want you to go to school or does not have the means, or he or she is not assisted, or the guardian. But what I can say is that parents, guardians, caretakers, whoever is responsible for the return of learners to school should be meticulously prepared, be fully prepared. Find out, the Ministry of Education guided us on when the learners should return, that is 10th. Find out from your school, is there anything that has changed? Are they going by adhering to the guideline of, that is number one, to the guidelines of the Ministry of Education? Find out what other extra requirements have been put in place for your child before you return this child to school. And by the way, you might even return the child to school, the learner to school, when the school is no longer in existence. So find out, make these basic research forms to find out if the school is still operating. One, has the Ministry of Education kept its license? Make sure you can access the Ministry of Education portal, because you could find that some of these licenses have been revoked, and you just take your child to school, and in the end, if the child is a candidate, you just begin shedding tears for having not known that the license was revoked. Then number two, after finding out that the school is opening and I can still take my child to school, change the routines of these children, because it's been quite a long holiday. So they've now mastered waking up at whichever time they feel like. I'm specifically talking about the day scholars. A week prior to the opening of term, shift the routines. If the child is supposed to be up by 5 a.m., take a shower, some do have breakfast, do that now. So that you should have started it actually on Monday, so that by Tuesday they are within the routine of school, so that it cannot come as a shocker on 10th when they go back to school. Because, you know, adapting to a new routine, there are quite a number of stuff that can happen, including health factors. You may find that the first week the child, because he or she's trying to get accustomed to this new routine again, they might get headaches, they might get dizzy. So try to incorporate them into this school routine as early as a week prior to the opening of the school term. We can also talk about health. Please take your children or the learners for screening, medical screening. Let them be diagnosed. In case there is any underlying health problem, the doctors will let you know, so that the school is not shocked, and you, the parent, you are not surprised when the school calls you up within just the first week of opening, and you receive a call that your child is having this, and at times it could be even a life-threatening condition. So take your children for medical checkups. I love some schools that it is mandatory for parents to go go with these results for the learners on the first day of the opening of term. And also, if your child specifically has some conditions that they need some extra, maybe hygienic gear for the ladies, the sanitary towels, make sure these things are in place. Please purchase the requirements in advance. For those asthmatics children or learners, you as a parent, as a guardian, make sure they have their inhalers or their medications, because some of these inhalers even get expired. So you as a parent, make sure that you check out all the expiry dates of the drugs that you give to the learners, or check out whatever they use for these other children that have underlying medical conditions, or the ones that are special. Then the uniforms, in what state? You know, Julia, at times I see day scholars and boarding students, and you find it is week one, but the stockings are torn, the shoes are in a dire state, and the hair is not kept. And you're like, is this person just from holidays? Do they even have parents, or parents who even care about them, because they could be having them, but when the parents, guardians, caretakers, whatever case it may be, they just, it is just to whom it may concern. And also offer emotional support. You know, there is that laziness of the first week. Even you adults who are watching, you know, for example, after that long Christmas break, coming back to work, you feel sluggish. So the learners also do experience this. So parents, please offer emotional support to these children. In case the child is having some anxieties, find a way of addressing this. Don't just be a tough parent, be an understanding one, because most of these kids want to be understood, not just listened to.
Very interesting, Joan, that you paint that picture. You've really elaborated on an unexpected picture. Because for most parents, preparing for school or a new school term is all about, yeah, I'm going to pay the school fees, I'm going to buy the requirements and drop you at school, and that's it. But you've elaborated a depth of which, for some of what you've elaborated, it's things that could have started even a while back, a month in, before now, as you study the situation, as you plan, have checklists ticked off and the detail of that, but it's also in an encouragement to parents and a reminder that by the time you give birth to this child, it's your full responsibility, and not to anyone else, not the house manager, not the neighbor, not even the teachers. You know, before you send them to school, right? Before you send them to school, you have to make sure that their boxes.
You tell the teachers,
yes. But the fact that you have to pay, these are things that are rare in Ugandan families. For a parent to pay attention to what is the health detail, health status of this child, what might they need in case of anything, how is their emotional state? Because this is part of preparing a learner for school. It's never thought about, but it's very important, you know, and it's an encouragement to parents to actually do so. What do they need? What don't they need? Anyways, what was their status before? Who was bullying them at school? Who was, you know, those nitty-gritties. Yeah, exactly. To pay attention to how better their terms could be. And I thank you for painting that picture in breadth for the sake of awareness. Okay. Now, Robert, let's look at now the teachers and the schools to whom these children are being taken. After the parents playing their role and doing the best they can, thereafter they hand their children to the school authorities and the teachers. Now, how are the teachers expected to prepare?
Well, thank you, Julie, and of course, Joan, and above all, our viewer who is following us. And I know you're going to be commenting because you're all stakeholders here. If you're not yet a parent, you're a guardian, or you're a responsible citizen in one way or the other. So
where should they comment from?
Well, just send us a WhatsApp message or a text message.
Yes, 0709 602592. It's also displayed on your screen in case you're unable to get it as I speak it. But that's the number. You send it by text, WhatsApp, and be part of the conversation because we are all stakeholders here.
Now, I'll begin with the teachers, rightly like you said. First and foremost, the teacher should prepare their mental state properly.
That's key, that's key, that's key, that's key.
Yeah.
If during this long holiday, you've been enjoying the bottle, you wake up, you go drink, you come back, please, it is time to begin before Tuesday. making sure you've said bye-bye or reduced your appetite for the bottle. Now, if you've been having, you know, the holiday has been long.
Yeah.
If you've been having certain things that really you're so much soaked in, make sure you don't bring your problems to our children. We are bringing it to you on Tuesday as teachers. So mental preparation for teachers, because many of the times I've seen certain issues happen between teachers and some landing in trouble. And when you ask the teacher, they say things you don't understand. Mr. Chirabo, I think I was in a bad mood. You see, home.
I don't know what got over me.
But those don't concern me. This is my child. Don't unleash your anger on my child. So teachers, mental preparation is very important. Just like when we are coming here for the show, we also have sometimes, but you know, you must have that smile. You must be, you know. So teachers, you're starting another year. You've had some months of resting. Come prepared. Two, after the mental preparation. Of course, these children are coming to learn. I visited some schools and I saw the teachers were already back. You know, preparing, is it a teaching scheme? All that. You would see them, they have prepared. Not just because we have a very competitive education system. So prepare so that you teach what you're supposed to teach as stipulated by the National Curriculum Development Center. This nonsense of telling parents that for us what you're supposed to study in second term, we study it in first term. Then in third term, you're only revising. The developers of our curriculum stipulated hours of teaching our children and how you should follow that, is it syllabus or whatever, so that you do not overload our children. You want children to start classes at 5, not preps. Because you not prepared enough. Prepare yourselves, have what it needs for a teacher to have, so that our children learn what the experts programmed them to learn, and in the right time. For me, when I come to a school and you tell me, for us we studied those of second term, we studied them in first term. Save yourself. Don't say that to me, because if the experts government paid and they developed a curriculum, you find a child as if she's a what are they called, backpackers? You know,
Backpackers, yes.
Yes, you find them
So wait.
with a back.
Anyways, no.
Because they
Before
are
we
loading,
digress, please
because
go
they are
ahead.
loading our children with the things, and they call it teaching. Now the children get so tired. That is why you find them
And at home, they have to come back with homework.
leave alone the homework, but you're pumping them. The experts program that a child of 13 years can concentrate for these hours.
Yeah.
Some don't. You even make some miss break. What is that you're teaching? Now, I talked about mental, then preparing what you're going to give our children, but also being presentable.
Meaning, what does that mean?
For the male teachers, you must know you're going to teach. One time I went to a certain school. They almost asked the female teachers there, are you going for a disco? Skimpy clothes.
Are they there, Robert?
Yes.
I've not really.
Joe, and you move around. Most of these schools, they call it international, semi-international.
International
Now, not international. Now there's a
Semi-
international in Uganda.
Semi-international.
We have international schools. But there are those that want to blend between international, not being international, as if
They are not
semi-international.
decided.
Yes, so they will tell you, we don't follow the international curriculum, but what they offer and the way they treat the children.
'Cause I know there are those that offer both UNEB and then Cambridge and...
There's a way they do it now. For those ones, there's a way they treat and forget that they are raising children.
Right.
Then also to the teacher's side, what is very important, another thing is, please, as you go back, teaching is very important. And I know you cannot give what you don't have. But we need our children to be instilled with values. Don't only prepare yourself to teach what is on paper, but also prepare yourself to teach values to our children, to teach integrity to our children, to teach morals or to pass on morals to our children. There is nothing that is very destructive like we have very many educated, immoral people, educated people without integrity, educated that you, because long ago they would say you behave as if you didn't go to school. I don't know, Judy.
Yes,
if you heard of that, Wensanga atasoma.
Because
Because
the
there
education
is-
system in Uganda has rather allowed people to go to school but not be educated. So
And
not
also-
many Ugandans
yes.
are
Are
educated.
educated.
So, but even education does not only mean, because today people aim at first grades, but a person who has gone to school, the way you talk, the way you address issues. Today you watch debates, and these are people who went to school. They even argue and abuse themselves of things that are funny. We need to have educated people, but with the morals and values, and we are looking up to you, teachers. Then the schools. Now I think this goes on now to the administrators and all that. First, hygiene. Some of these schools for a long time, children have not been there. Please,
It's bushy.
please renovate. We are paying fees. You directors, we know you're aiming at maximization of profit and getting grades so that we can give you students. But at least renovate these schools, minor renovation. But you go to a school, they are ready for first term, not even painting. You know, we are going to give you money. The structure, our children are coming from homes. Make the schools look attractive so that they have that conducive learning environment. 2, it is very absurd that when terms begin, we hear school fires. Improve security of our children. First priority should be security of our children. School owners, you investors, I don't even want to call them proprietors, but you investors who invested in schools, please think of hygiene of our children. Are you aware children get infections? The girls' secondary school, I don't know what that disease is called, this is candidiasis or something like that. You know, parents then have to pay. So hygiene is very important. Then safety of our children is another thing you should look up to. But also, diet of our children. Diet of our children. You know,
Okay.
we are accustomed to posho and beans, not
Right.
bad. It's also what we ate in schools where we went to. We don't want to say. But improve that. We've had strikes of children because of that diet. You know, you don't even at least the minimum basics of a meal that is worthy of these children to eat. So for me, I look at hygiene, health, security, and feeding as school owners or people who chose to invest in these schools. Because government, there is no feeding for government schools. The parents, maybe where PTA, are they called PTA?
Yeah.
Agree that the parents can pay some amount of money, they'll have some porridge, have portion and beans at the end of the day. But private schools, look at those factors as very, very important as we are opening up the new term. And finally, school administrators, look at the spiritual welfare of these children. The days we went to school, religion was key. The Muslims had their side and they would make sure if you're Muslim, you attend prayers. If it's a boarding school, Fridays, the Muslims go and pray. Christians, you had your also the Catholics, Sunday, the Protestants. As the born again, I was a scripture union leader in my school. But we had our moment where we would worship because religion is very important. Why we are having corruption today, why we are having these murders, all this is because we have people at family level, parents have forsaken religion, a number of parents. You know, now because these children spend most of the time in school, our only hope goes to you as school administrators that think about the spiritual realm of the children that we are giving you. A person who does not have religion, in Uganda they say muntu atalina dini mubi nnyo. And when school, because we may look at school as bring a well-packaged person. You talk about the academics, that person is good, the physical, these children exercise, don't pump them. I want to see my child physically healthy, not to come back as a weekly, but with a first grade, you know, because school has been dormitory class, dormitory, I want to see that and the spiritual person of my child. So give me the physical, give me the academic, give me the spiritual, and I'll say this is a school that has delivered a well-packaged student or people. But when my child has good grades, but utters words I don't understand, has come with manners I don't understand, very weak, as if he or she is going to fall.
Well, on the idea of a religion, it's a rather interesting and broad topic. But anyways, we're not here to talk about religion. That would be for some other day. But good morning, Julie, Joan, Robert, and good morning, UBC. Good morning, Uganda. It's Wanzala Isaacs, the ISO in West Nile. According to my analysis, many parents are ready to take their children for the opening of term, but head of schools should bear and excuse parents in this first term and give them ample time as they prepare to clear school fees dues fully, because most of the parents are bankrupt and are delayed in payments and are still hustling. And this makes a lot of sense. And for me, I think...
Some even failed in elections.
Yes, and I think for me what stands out, what it brings out is the fact that I think we should come to a point where schools intentionally prepare alongside parents to have a payment scheme of some sort for each parent that comes in, because each parent comes with a unique problem. Yes, each parent comes with a unique problem. But schools should not be as hardened, as stone-hearted to just chase these parents away, but rather have a place, I think, of understanding, sitting down with a parent and plan.
So you're against this policy of 100%?
Yes, I'm totally against 100% because with Uganda's education, it's becoming really highly expensive. And ideally, the percentage, the biggest percentage of Ugandans who are earning and working, the money doesn't make sense. If you look at taxation alone.
Oh, Julie and Robert,
at taxation alone.
I will completely disagree with you. Why would you, as a parent or guardian, not have the 100%? Why would you take a child to a school that you feel you...
Let's start from those who make the policies. Those who make the policies, they do not pay as you earn. Pay as you earn, right? You, the parent, you earn, say, you 1 million. 500 is already taken.
Yeah.
You pay as you earn. 500,000 is doing what for you? You have rent, you have to feed, you have to transport, you have to pay school fees.
Medical.
These people who are making the policies that should affect the education of your child are not paying pay as you earn. They have full medical, they have allowances.
But
they are
there
not
schools,
in your
Julie, they are cheaper schools. Why must I stress myself over that?
Because it trickles down from that. So for me,
my opinion.
They are cheaper schools.
The 100% does not apply to a Ugandan.
I want to leave those people there because even if it wasn't, because also it's a noble cause to pay taxes and all that.
Yes.
For what you want.
Definitely
so I don't want to venture into that. But when Julie talks about
100%.
having a payment plan, let me tell you, Joanne, we may be comfortable that my children are going back to school by the grace of God, that have been able to clear everything. But there are parents who have not. Let's be realistic. And there are parents that when you tell them 100%, Joanne, we have a man who has 7 children.
Yeah.
We have a man who has 8 children.
How much are these kids
Now,
paying? We also need to zero down on that.
Kid is paying, say, average school fees is 500.
Okay.
In fees alone.
Okay.
But remember, you're not paying only school fees. There are other requirements that you're paying.
Development.
Yes, and now this is term 1. Or some, they have been to nursery, they are joining P1. So you have uniform, you have that, blah, blah. By the end, each child may go to 1.3 in average school. Now, this father has 7 children. That is 7 million. So the father will not be able to have 7 million. Second, many Ugandans, when you look at what they earn formally and how they manage life, the God of Ugandans is a great
push
God.
for minimum wage. Push for minimum wage.
Now, we are being realistic. Children are starting on Tuesday. Let's be realistic. What should be done? So when she says schools should be considerate,
I think for me, yes, I have a payment plan with this parent. Sit down and tell the parent that every end of week or every end of month, bring this percentage, deposit this, and hold them to their word and their commitment.
And I want to
that at the end of this month, I'm calling you.
Children are now going back to school. This has been school fees week. But after 2 weeks, there's returning home week.
Right.
Parents know what I'm talking about.
Returning home?
Yes.
What is that?
Today they have been on the pressure of paying school fees. Many men are fairly insane
Okay.
at this particular time.
And women, we do also pay school fees. Why are you just limiting it to men
Okay,
alone?
let me speak to
The
those,
parents.
the gender that is more viewed and seen to be paying this. In many organized families,
Okay.
a mother can chip in, but the major role of a father is to educate your children. My wife giving me a hand is okay, but it is my noble role as a man to pay fees for my children.
Right.
That is why I say this week we are going in, many men understand it's been hard for them. But schools, this is what they do. Some good schools, they will allow you come as you are with some payment, then
Yeah.
they give you 2 weeks. Now after those 2 weeks,
These kids are sent back home?
the kids are sent back.
For
in
school
case-
fees?
Yes, for
Yes,
another
yes.
for another something. And of course, they know when you're taking them back, you do something to match up. So I want to commend all schools that have this plan, because very few Ugandans have salaries or their formal
That can
employment
pay 100%.
that can pay 100% of their school fees. Many of them have to think outside the box, and sometimes outside
Get loans?
get loans, and sometimes you even find that because you're from elections, people had held on money. The economy is somehow, you know.
And we are going into Ramadan?
People will tell you, Linda, let's first wait for this. So I think a payment plan is very important. School headmasters, investors in schools, be considerate, but also to the parents.
Be faithful
Be
and pay.
faithful. I've seen parents who do funny things.
Yeah.
You send children to school, you know you've not paid whatever is required, and you dump them there. One time I was taking my niece to school, and this little girl had been brought. The father dumped her to the gate with things and disappeared. Now the school also gets confused. If you know you need this plan, go early. Go today, go Monday and say, make those phone calls. I will not be able to pay 100%, but please allow me.
Or
Not
can
on that
we
day.
meet and
You
have
can-
a payment
and
plan
have a
that I
payment
can
plan.
afford?
Yes, because all of us went to school and our parents were not paying 100%. I want to believe. You people watching
I have a feeling Joan has never experienced the 100, the less, the failure to pay 100%. And that's why, because if you've gone through school in Uganda and you're from a humble background,
Yes.
at least I know that's one of the traumas I had in school throughout my whole school, especially high school, having to be on tension because of school fees. You know, so I highly understand a parent. And one of the things my mother says that she wishes to be rich enough to help children pay
With
school
the school
fees
fees. Okay.
because it's a trauma to a child. Your education is affected. You're sitting in class alone to pay attention is affected highly. And at the end of the day, your report is also affected. You ought to be a really, really bright student to overcome all of that and perform with an A to avoid being chased. So 100, payment schemes, payment plans,
Plans,
yes,
yes.
are really, really important in schools. Now, good morning, Uganda. Odelit Samuel from Amuria. Joan has elaborated much. I think children and parents should have met and shared with the children in order to prepare them mentally, spiritually, and life away from parents. Thank you for being on the show. And indeed, 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should share and be part of this conversation. How best should learners prepare for the new school term? The center focus is on the learners, but of course the stakeholders are the parents, the teachers, everyone involved. And this is your conversation to be part of, all right? So do engage and share your opinion. Now to the both of you, and I'll start with John, as Robert, you also think of chewing on this. How prepared now should the learners themselves be?
One, before I even go to the learners, please parents and guardians out there, do not take the learners back to school just for the sake, because you're tired of feeding them, you feel the burden is really growing overboard. Please take them there with a sense of belonging. Let these kids feel they are loved, not just dumping them there for the school. And for the teachers, how best can learners prepare to get back to school? One, I would begin by the learners defining their goals. What do you want to achieve in this term? The short-term goals and the long-term goals. You as a student, you want to get first grade A, grade B. You as a university student, do you want an A, a B plus, a C, a D, a retake? So define your term goals or your semester goals and find out how best can you achieve these goals with assistance from wherever you can, parents, teachers, your course mates, your classmates, and whoever can. It could be counselors, it could be the nurse at school. And by the way, you are talking about the schools. Please, school head teachers, proprietors, find out from, what is that what they normally use? Dispensary? Is that what they use in schools? Go to the sick bays, exactly. Thank you so much. Find out the state in which these sick bays are.
By the way, our school bays usually, sick bays, sorry, usually well equipped.
That is my point.
I think, yeah, depending is the right.
Depending on the school.
Because there are schools that have very well equipped sick bays. And there are those that you wonder just a bed, and if, just a bed where you can rest away from your normal dormitory when you're not feeling fine. There's nothing much there, and some of them is even very pathetic that what you have is a matron
who is also serving.
Who stopped in P7. They are wiseacring now, taking good care
and for some sick bays, they become dating sites for students.
Yeah.
Really?
That is new.
Julie.
These are things schools should watch. Because it's a sick bay, it's meant to...
You went to mixed school, stop acting like
but
it is...
where I went to, we didn't have that. Because one, it was almost a privilege.
To get sick?
To go to the
fall
sick bay.
sick.
Because you had to be real sick. Then two, for some reasons, it was always out of bounds for people who are not sick. And even seeing your friend there.
These things of
it was
visiting.
through a permission.
Now, my high school's sick bay was structured. This was the girls' wing, this was the boys' wing.
Okay.
You just cross into each other's ward. And the warden responsible for that section, his house was like at the front, but if he is on the inside late in the night and no one is there to watch, people would crisscross, you know? So people would fall sick out of
in the
no
night,
reason,
in the middle of the night.
in the name of I'm sick, but with other plans. So ideally, in the name of stewardship, when a parent gives you their child, they expect them to be highly safe,
You just
inside
reminded
out.
me of someone who
You
looked
know?
after me very well at a sick bed. Dr. Primrose Narima, greetings to you. Thank you very much for looking after me when I was at the school sick bay.
And very sick.
And so like after defining your goals, then you can look at your backpack. What is for the day scholars? For the boarding students, find out what you have to have in your suitcase. Are the bed sheets clean? Are they torn? Are they in good shape? What else do you need? Do you have a cup? If for the schools that do not provide utensils or cutlery to the learners, make sure you have this exact and right stationery, not taking a pen when your school needs a pencil. Do you have the geometrical set that is going to help you achieve the grades you want? So you as a learner, check out your list of requirements, your personal requirements, and not the school requirements, so that you can go back to school when you're well prepared. And also, let your parents or guardians know about your extra needs, because they might not be listed in the class requirements or school requirements, but you as a person, do students or learners still take appetizer? You might need that, and you've not mentioned it to the parent, and then you go very angry at your mother, at your child, rather at your father, at your guardian, because they did not provide some stuff for you yet. You did not let them know about your extra needs. And also, discuss your worries. What is giving you anxiety about returning to school? Is it being bullied? Is it lack of enough supplies?
That is if your parent is open enough.
Yeah, and friendly.
and a friend to you.
Yeah. So is it about the feeding at school? What is making you have that depression that now it has dawned on you that you're returning to school on Tuesday? Have these conversations. It could be your uncle you trust, or your auntie or your elder sister or brother that could engage whoever is responsible for you. So discuss your worries so that you kind of get relieved, or to have them worked on. And also you need to limit screen time. Parents who give children phones, or even tertiary students, campuses, you're always on TikTok, social media, or browsing whatever you are doing with your phone. in the late hours of the night, limit the time you're spending on the screen. It can be TV, it can be computer, it can be your phone, so that you adjust your mind. I've actually experienced a problem, Julie, sometime whenever I'm on my phone until something like 2. If I do it for over a week, I begin getting random headaches. Because I've not had enough sleep, and I'm exposing my brain and my sensory nerves to to the screen for quite a long time when I'm supposed to be
on your phone for a period of a week, up to 2 every day.
Yeah, at times I used to do that. It's currently, you know, TikTok. Well, let me just watch one video, and by
Please
the time
continue with what you are supposed to.
so please limit screen time so that you can get into the routine of having to sleep at specific times for your school, you as a learner, and also try to reconnect with friends. Find out how they are feeling and relating to returning to school, so that you can also be comfortable in that very environment. Talk to them if you feel maybe you are a bit down. They can give you some motivation.
Right.
But also understand that it may take quite some time for you to fit properly into that school routine. So be patient. If you feel the first week is a bit, you know, pulling you back, giving you setbacks, just hang in there. You as a learner, with time, in 2 weeks' time, you will be good to know. And for the campuses, maybe who commute from school, from home, or even the day scholars, if you're senior 4, senior 5, you're an adult, a young adult, the means of transport you use to go to school, find out if you have a special border person, or you use an Uber, find out, are these people still available? Not getting surprised on Tuesday morning, you're calling the person, the number is unavailable, is no longer on the network, or they even changed the district in which they are staying. So find about your commute method to school. And also, especially for the senior 6 and tertiary institutions, look at the syllabus. For the university students, I can talk about your course outline, because these things are available, so that you know what to expect and you don't get startled. You know, you don't faint after reading the course outline on the first day at school.
Right.
So that you can equip yourself with some prior knowledge about what you're going to be studying.
Right. Robert, how prepared should learners be from your perspective?
Well, I must say, John has done justice. But I'm just going to speak very briefly to the learners.
Right.
First, know who you are,
Very key.
where you come from, and the purpose why you're at school. Know who you are. What do I mean who you are? Know that you're a student who has come to study and who comes from a family. Either you must keep their legacy or change the history of your family.
That's key. That's key.
Those are 2 things. You're going to school for first time. If you come from a family that is not fairly very well, know where you come from.
Don't ride with the planned kids.
Don't get to school. You know, I went to, okay, let me reserve that. But I was blessed to go to both the traditional
High-end
schools and the private schools. I went to both high-end schools. I thank God for His grace. And also at a certain time in my life, I went to, Mukama Mulungi. So,
UPA, it's okay.
now, this is what I want to tell, because some students are mature now that are watching us. You're going to school to study. Maybe you've even seen the challenges your father's gone through, your mother's gone through. Don't get to school, because I'm sorry to say this, but in some of the schools some of us went to, for lack of a better word, let me say it in Luganda, abaana b'abanaku mwe mwasinganga okweyisa obi n'okukola effujjo. Children from the less privileged families. Now, they would invite your mother to school and would be shocked. You know, she's a poor lady, struggling, but you want to be the celeb of the campus.
But I think
So-
it's
The bully at
it's,
school.
It's even the status quo even here.
You know,
If you watch
so
culture.
that arrivalism, please, you've gone to school.
Arrivalism.
Be humble, study, be that young girl, that young man who is studying to change the history of your family. Second, when you know the purpose that has taken you to school, you're not going to engage in funny groups. Today, drug abuse is very common in schools as we speak. Homosexuality, funny things. Now, if you know where you come from, if you're coming from a rich family, you must continue with that legacy.
But Robert,
Go to school, study. You're coming from a family of engineers, doctors, journalists, what? Don't be that person who is going to break the chain of success in your family. Study, read, know what has taken you. Don't engage in those funny groups. At the end of the day, you may be a celebrity in school, but the day the devil goes against you and mommy comes or daddy comes, you may find it hard to concentrate again.
It's when the Baganda say,
So please, for me, those are my simple words to you.
Right.
Don't engage in, be prepared not to engage. Desist from any level of friendship. This, what do you call, we used to call it coupling. When you were in our days of school, or dark cornering. You know, you just mentioned funny incidents at sick bays. Those are going to distract your performances. There is a right time for everything. Ask the ladies I have today here with me. When that right time comes, no one, even your parents, will be the ones to ask you why. Where is Mr. Where is so? So concentrate now, study, and I guarantee you, you will enjoy first term and the rest of the time.
Good morning, presenters. Thank you for the program. I expect all stakeholders, that is parents, administrations, teachers, and learners, to be ready per now, and each stakeholder should be able to play his or her responsibility. This is Kenneth Mugisha in Fort Portal. Learners should avoid, learners should avoid this bandwagon effect, copying from others. Thank you very much. And somebody else comes through and says, hi, UBC, this is Gustus, Brigand Charles from Busia. I think as students prepare for the reopening of term 1, we should first evaluate ourselves on the performances of last year and see a way on how to improve or maintain their grades this term. And also, a student should know his or her background. Right. Thank you very much, Gustus, for being on the show. And definitely, this brings us to the end of our discussion. Thank you so much for being on. To the parents, play your role. I love how elaborative Joan was about it. It's a whole role to play. You do not leave it to another. You must have time. You don't have time, but you must have it.
I've paid school fees, you know, for us the men. What do you want with me? I've paid the school fees.
Yes.
Given me the budget,
talk to your mom.
It is done.
You must
then
be
you
present.
go to the band, celebrate fees in as much.
And from what Joan elaborated, it spoke to a present parent.
Yes.
A parent has to be 100% present. You know your child in and out. You know her friends, his friends. You know their teacher, who teaches which subject. Where are they weak? What do they fail?
That is left to ladies most of the time.
That detail is very important and very profound.
Men, you're busy. Did you hear what Robert just said? That men, they get so busy for your children. That is what you whisper to them.
Many men
are very busy for their kids.
Because they have grown up in the, you know, in that tradition that it is mothers who are into this.
Okay.
So they tend to be busy.
And yet they must create the time.
They grew up seeing this.
Okay,
but it's time
we
it
must
broke.
change history.
Yes.
And come to the reality. And I know many men are now, if they have paid fees, they're now celebrating. You find them, he thinks it's done and dusted. Because he has cleared everything.
There is something I normally notice when kids are returning to school. You find a mother on one border with two children, 2 suitcases, a mattress, and I'm just like, do these men even, did this man look at this woman and the kids leaving for school while they're in such a state? At least get them a taxi or an Uber for once in a term. And please, men out there, fathers out there, if you know there is a woman you split with, I don't really like to call them single mothers. Please, do not make these women plead for school fees.
Right. Let's bring up close to this conversation. To the parents, difference to your children.
Don't call us at your homes to come for fees.
Be 100% present. But then to the children, I'll leave this with you. It's a word from a book that I really love so much, and that is the Bible, 1 Corinthians 15:33. Bad company corrupts good morals. And the decision is all yours. You go to school, the ball is in your hands. To whom much is given, much is expected. If you're given school, use the opportunity to be educated so that at the end of the day, you are able to serve and earn your purpose as to why you were created.
Robert,
good morning.
Give us money.
Good morning.
Good morning.
From UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources, such as inspirational profiles.
Having a disability is not inability.
Every Friday, 9 p.m., it's one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there must be certain conditions in place.
Is it true that you paid 5 million shillings to MPs that voted for?
Was brought to you by.
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby,
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
Now, you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Tarehe Sita is celebrated in Uganda to commemorate the start of the National Resistance Army's liberation struggle on 6th February 1981. An attack on Kabamba Barracks, leading to the NRM's rise to power in 1986 and the formation of the Uganda People's Defense Forces. The day symbolizes the foundation of the People's Army, national unity, and the ongoing commitment to peace, security, and socio-economic transformation. On Friday, 6th February 2026, the 45th Tarehe Sita anniversary will be celebrated under the theme Defending the Gains of the Revolution and Honoring the Sacrifices of the freedom fighters, a call for national unity, peace, and socio-economic transformation. The celebrations will take place at the National Teachers College grounds in Kabale Municipality. The activities will be relayed live on UBC TV.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise, and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, every story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
The Senior Citizens Grant under the Social Assistance Grants for Empowerment SAGE program is Uganda's social protection flagship program, providing regular, predictable, and reliable direct income support to older persons. Since inception in 2010, the SAGE program has positively impacted beneficiaries' livelihoods, contributing to the overall national socio-economic transformation. The government of Uganda has continued to fulfill its commitment to the expansion and sustainability of the SAGE program, ensuring income security, dignity, and improved basic standard of living for older persons in all local governments across the country.
Amabara gange Irene Masika bagenda eya bagenda nile mwira wawe akasente kenye kanyiyambiremo kakubaira nikanyiyambamo baitu ako kubanza mbona nagule mbuzi bagitwara nagule enkoko nazo baziba hati akubambaire reno ninsubura mwakasura tinje nyina mani gokulema ngonza nyikalo mukatale mbono tuhimba ngotu tunsanga hangeto enda hangeto niha kasukali kokunyi niko nduko ndukanyiyamba kati amani gokulema tinje nyina ngamusima senga utabisubulero ni musima nyo ni musima abereho abieho ni musima mono.
This is a message from Expanding Social Protection, ESP, implementing the program under the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. ESP, better life chances for all. The Senior Citizens Grant under the Social Assistance Grants for Empowerment SAGE program is Uganda's social protection flagship program, providing regular, predictable, and reliable direct income support to older persons. Since inception in 2010, the SAGE program has positively impacted beneficiaries' livelihoods, contributing to the overall national socio-economic transformation. The government of Uganda has continued to fulfill its commitment to the expansion and sustainability of the SAGE program, ensuring income security, dignity, and improved basic standard of living for older persons in all local governments across the country.
Akakoya kuida babita ngikuchini ku radio yatukobera yamatiza naje kuti akubao ati mwekandise akasente kasooka nkafuna nagula mu nkuuki enkoko eddala baddukulu bange ebibuto byokabiri nafuna ebibuto byokubiri n'ata mu nkuuki akabuzi nga ngulira kyegulira ngulira baddukulu bange ndikola gavumenti enambi mu buke buno empeku iki akasente nga ningula mu nkuuki ekyokulya ekyabaddukulu bange tikyati ebintu byenfuna okuyambibwa mba nsaba gavumenti obusente bwetugwa butono bungi nga nkusaba ebe etugemeku etwongezeku tikyati nze n'ebizibu nga ebyobulwaire omuntu amaiso gakibulira omugongo guliuki guluma era ebigero birima bume era n'essaawa eyo nfuna nkozesa ki eddagala eryekirugavu mpakirekola nga nsaba gavumenti ebe nga etongerewo kasente ndikusiima gavumenti ebintu buyalambala nalowooza ati benja okutwala kambafune kuyoki nga tikikozeki titumusabye kyaba kirowoozo kye kyamukulu waife atutwala.
This is a message from Expanding Social Protection, ESP, implementing the program under the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. ESP, better life chances for all. The Senior Citizens Grant under the Social Assistance Grants for Empowerment, SAGE program, is Uganda's social protection flagship program, providing regular, predictable, and reliable direct income support to older persons. Since inception in 2010, the SAGE program has positively impacted beneficiaries' livelihoods, contributing to the overall national socio-economic transformation. The government of Uganda has continued to fulfill its commitment to the expansion and sustainability of the SAGE program, ensuring income security, dignity, and improved basic standard of living for older persons in all local governments across the country.
Cecilia Kyazike nina emyaka 86 omuluka Kabakedi ombola Yeruwero distrikiti Yeruwero kubanga engeri gye byantegeeza nzaawe naganira ngamba lesina nagenda mu ebyo n'abaana sinabagamba bwe yagira ki abaana nembagamba abaana nebagamba mama genda nebanzikiriza sente ze nakafuna ndowooza gira emitwalo nga 6 oba zisobamu awo sikyajjukira bulungi kubanga nze kazitanzifuna naye nkola ebalirya nemmanya nti zituuse bwe ziti nenziteeka awo ku kayumba kange ako nengamba oluvannyuma ndifunamu ate ekigenda mu maaso naye nga sizizizza ku mmwaba kuzoonoona. Nzizimbyemu akayumba ennyumba yange.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Hello mama, mbere no nayo mutima gusuleyo kimanyi bulungi maaso gabeera mu kkubo mama n'omutima guluma webuuza lwoliddamu okundaba nange gye ndi enno era situdde mama fuba nnyo okuyiya sinene bye nasuubiza naye nsanga bingi ebinyiga omutima mama nasina nawe mbinyumya nenkaba amaziga era nabikwasa katonda yanyiga emitima yatalina kimulema oyo n'ababi abakira era tebakulimba nti nakukyawa mama wange omu kyali mukaso mama sijja kuswaza wekanya sala yasala mama kuba kaseno wanyirumunja kwasa besala sala yasala mama ndi mukaso mama yongere sala wekanya sala yasala mama kuba kaseno wanyirumunja kwasa besala sala yasala mama ndi mukaso mama yongere sala yenkunyumize ntya bino ebyensi bitiisa mama emirimu gitunyigiriza nga batudde ku maggwa ne bantu bannaffe emitima gyavundadda omuntu akulwanyisa fuba kuteeke wansi ebe nalina esiga omutima bagumenya dda kati nasigaza saala ye munde wange muntu wekanya sala esala mama kuba aseno manyiro munja kwasa kwesala esala esala mama ndi mukaso mama yongere sala mama komawo sida nebyenasuubiza funa essuubi nga wadde kyayiriba naye sijja kuswaza funa essuubi zenesize mukama yamanya ensonga zange funa essuubi oyo watandesengera tajja tuswaza funa essuubi ab'ebigambo ab'ensonga zaabwe funa essuubi ffe twesige mukama yatagenda tuswaza funa essuubi mama komawo sira nebyenasuubiza nga wadde kyayiriba naye sijja kuswaza zenesize mukama yamanya ensonga zange oyo watandesengera tajja tuswaza ab'ebigambo ab'ensonga zaabwe ffe twesige mukama yatagenda tuswaza.
A very good morning to you. That is very Paul with the song Hello Mama. Now it's easy for you to misname it and think it's Esala. No, but it's Hello Mama. And it's a beautiful prayer, by the way. One with a connection that most of everyone, to a larger extent, has with their mother and the prayers of a parent. The prayers of a parent, the deepest at that. That's why the Bible always says that honor your mother and father so that your days on earth shall be longer. That is the first promise in the Bible. Rather, the first commandment in the Bible that has a promise to it. Now, in studio, as you've already seen, is an artist who is with me. His name is Vera Paul, not new to the set, to the Good Morning Uganda set, but always welcome and always has a value to add to you, our viewers, something to learn and relearn from his story as always. Now, if you ask me, one of the things that I know about him is he's always smart. He is always consistently smart. And I'll definitely be finding out what inspires him, because for someone in the arts industry, with a platform such as that, it's very rare to find consistency in line with being smart and in a very unique way smart. We'll be delving into that conversation. But I know you also have a question, you have an opinion, you have something to say. 0709602592. By WhatsApp, text, and be part of the show and talk to us. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. It's a Friday on Good Morning Uganda, and you are watching UBC TV We come to you live from the Nile Avenue. Vera Paul, good morning.
Good morning, Julie.
Pleasure having you again on set.
Pleasure seeing you again. It's been quite a long time.
Right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, too. You look good.
Thank you. Thanks
for
you
keeping up.
Glory to King Jesus. Thank you for always looking smart as well. And I'll start from there. What's your inspiration when it comes to always looking neat?
My inspiration to always looking neat. First, there could be like two.
Right.
First, I'm a person who loves nice things.
Ah.
Yes, I love nice things, and
that's godly.
Yeah. Yeah. And the second one, I always love looking like the kingdom I represent.
Right.
Because God is a perfectionist. God is good. Everything He created, the most beautiful thing. He's the architect of everything.
Right.
So when I say I'm an ambassador and I cannot carry the image, then people question the ambassador in me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have to look as the brand I'm representing.
As the generation would have it, clock it.
You know?
Anyways, let's start and indeed go into that particular direction. When you talk about representing the God that is in you on the outside, it's not a common thing in the entertainment industry altogether.
Yep.
But here we're talking about God. So let's talk about gospel artists in particular. Not many are as representing of their brand as you are. Why do you think it's important to every gospel musician to actually be as neat and smart and neat as they should be?
Julie, on that, let's look at it at this angle. You are a sales personnel of a certain company.
Yes.
You're selling a certain product. So when you approach someone, say, hey, I'm selling this to you, I want to sell this thing to you. If that person doesn't, if you don't look like what you're representing, I mean, if someone doesn't see that in you, you say, for example, I'm selling beautiful clothes, or I'm selling nice phones, and the phone you're having is really bad in bad state.
You own a bad,
you own a bad phone, but you're telling someone, please buy this phone. We have nice phones, but you yourself, you don't have a nice phone.
Right.
So how do you expect someone to believe that what you're selling to him is nice and will work for him?
Yes.
So the same way, if you tell people that, you know, I serve a God who changes lives. I serve a God who is good, who is nice, who is powerful, who is able to do all things, and you don't look those things.
You don't look the part.
So this person will question, really, if this person is representing God, is trying to tell me to fall in love with this God. If I'm supposed to look like that person the way he's looking like, then I don't need this God. So it means we have to be well packaged. That's why even the Bible says that Jesus grew in stature, in wisdom, in favor with God and with man. So Jesus was all around. So that by the time he comes to speak to the people, he was outstanding. People will see the man is wise, the man is smart, the man is full packaged to represent the kingdom he's talking about. So you cannot come to talk about the kingdom that you don't look like.
Right.
I can't say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the ambassador of the British Embassy, and I can't even speak English.
Yeah. You know? Yes, it makes a lot of sense.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. It sounds weird. You have to look like where you're coming from.
Now, on that note, let me also ask you, in your perspective, what does it mean to be a gospel artist?
What it means to be a gospel artist, of course, it's very easy. One, because it is not your work. It is not your work. Yes, it is not your work. It is the work of God. Gospel is the good news of the Lord Jesus Christ, and He calls us to do that particular business. If I'm working for a certain company, it is the duty of the company to make sure that it gives me all the equipment that I need to use to do the work.
Right.
So if I say that I work for God, it means the message I'm passing is not mine. So if God has called you in that music ministry, all you have to do is keep in touch with the voice of God. Keep in touch with Him so that you can hear very well the message you need to deliver. Because the music that we sing are answered prayers to some people's prayers. They are answers to some people's prayers. Someone kneels down and prays, God, I need this. Then God gives you revelation. God whispers to you that so and so needs such and such an answer. So we're just carriers.
Right.
We're just carriers of messages.
Of the message.
So it's easy. All you have to do is just be available, avail yourself for service, and be humble, be connected.
Very profound at that. In studio with me is Veripol. He is a gospel musician and one that is rather inspiring and very intentional when it comes to his art, as you can see from his look, but also his message and what he spews out from the sources that fill his cup. He has great music, and we are here for that. It's not all about talk, it's all about his music as well and what he has to offer. So in the meantime, let's enjoy his talent, and when we get back, it's more of the conversation and of course his music on this Friday on Good Morning Uganda. Good morning.
Yeah, Good Morning Uganda. This song is called
Sinza singayo bulungi nkusoye nnyo emirundi mingi nayo sigalo njagadde benakula nabo bangi bagenda n'abasinga ensi yasaasanya kutufonda somukwano ebizibu mwempisa ebingi biti n'abalabe bange nga beswanta nandibadde ntyataligwe Zinali mushinye chiwamvu Lwotyo nokayono ya setala Nomulisiza nendabe ddala Na bino byemfunye birungi Byebatunula konde bawananga Nandibije wataligwe Bali bakalawo gwe wasamba kaji Yabawozalaga wachoka gwe kubona otemera Bela yansalako wera banjine bandekawo Bawoza ajja kufa bonna bafa ne bandekawo Byali byansobako wasamba kaji Wano wentuuse era kisa kyo kye kimpalula Tebamanya nti nja kutuuka kyabagwakole banda bakeno Emitego gyabwe gye batega wateguludde Satalina yadamanya galwana Nandibawonye ntya bano bahita Obulamu bwange babufuula ekyennyinyaza Bankubanga naye nga sirwana Bwe walwawo ko ne beewana Ne batamanya nti luli kyalumu n'oluyingiramu Eyali entaana gye beesunga Bazimbawo kalina n'obaswaza Ebyali ebirango kati mawulire bansomako Bali bagalawo gwe wasamba kaji Nga bawozalaga wachoka gwe kubona ontemera Beera yansalako wera bangi ne bandekawo Bawoza ajja kufa bonna bafa ne bandekawo Byali byansobako wasamba kaji
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Bado kidogo mvua itanyesha, mvua ya mafanikio.
Ushaenda kwa waganga, uloge ili utobowe ila ukafunga, na maombi kila muda unaomba ila ukamua kujipanga, ufanye biashara ila mikopo ukadunda Ukaingia shamba ulime mazao nako ukagonga mwamba Usikate tamaa vumilia we hujachelewa bado Ngoja siku yako itakufikia we Bado kidogo Bado mvua ya mafanikio ikunyeshe Bado kidogo Bado mvua ya mafanikio ikunyeshe
Don't give up. Very shortly, your blessing will come.
Umemaliza muda kazi hujapata, baba mwenye nyumba pesa anataka, na kuna jamaa wamekuchoka kuwalilia shida zako. Wenzangu mpaka leo wateseka, mulo waso nao washatoka, wajiuliza maswali moyoni, hivi Mungu limukosea nini? Usikate tamaa, vumilia we, hujachelewa bado. na mafanikio ikunyeshe, bado kidogo, bado kola nafanya kuyiya kyoseko kubula munange kuba neje nabawa binyo jagala mbereko bulungi sivuga yasiringa gwenwanyisa yafayo byange yenwanyisa kyobola banerwengo denegumya fuba nnyo mbereko bulungi nze kapito nze kyabugagga kyenina ninakufungiza ninakulwanira ddala kubanga bogezi nabo balinze bendigwa sigenda kupowa paka nga tuse gye ndaga usikateka maendelea wadde bakuteze emisanvu towanika tova mu gemu mukama yalina pulani usikateka maendelea wadde bakukoze bikyamu topowa situko kyayinza mukama yalina mizani kimanyi ofuba nnyo kuyiya n'ebiganna ne banno bangi bakulese mu bitaala naye ate bopowobeera ofuse kataala kubanga bogezi bo bakumya amataala situkalwana wennyulule mu bisooto kubanga bopowanya nakuwa kagaati negye wava amaaso gabali mu luguudo balinze lwolikomawo nabo balyeko usikateka maendelea wadde bakuteze emisanvu lemerako tova mu gemu mukama yalina pulani usikateka maendelea wadde bakukoze bikyamu topowa situko kyayinza mukama yalina mizani towanika tosabikola wansi lemerako nyingini kange tokota sinennaku enzikya n'olulo lulibeeramu teweeta mwansi mukama kyakulwanira situkawo kubanga okyasobola neolaba baseka nabo bagakabako bokoyera wanenkya bano libagamba ki nga yegwe manyi gaabwe subi kwe banywerera singirera
Oh, this is a month of love. So if you're in love, send it to your someone you love, your wife, your husband. Happy Valentine's.
malayika bakuyita malayika amaziga genayungula gaweke agatangula omutima nengubikula kwano yakanye ekina ogenze noyakange nga ndowooza bwakakya uyita superhero wange osinga n'amagye kubanga odeka mubire mukwano nga walungiwa oli mulungi matosinga n'abamerika mulavu nga wakenkuka oli kakensa matosinga n'abachina juste toi et moi katuli babiri eseno tugisobola let me put this ring on you hey baby 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 I love you forever baby 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 it's me and you forever baby tusa ukulukundo nguhaya pandansi nidya forever so nichikola miruchenga nechusa nashaka kongo kunda vikawura control nzago kunda karamata neba wanyise njubange yakamuchiro wesirilava yakusinga paka kumweza I wanna stay with you hey yewe tutadane tuvereyo baby 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 I love you forever, baby, baby, baby. C'est pour toujours. Juste toi et moi. Katuli babiri eseno togisobola. Let me put this ring on you. Let me put this ring on you, baby, baby, baby. I love you forever, baby, baby, baby. It's me and you forever.
Yeah, for those of you that have loved ones, we're in February, the month of love. You can say, Happy Valentine's to your love.
Amazing, amazing. That is very cool. That's a beautiful song. Fun fact, I actually watched this gentleman's wedding on TV. Before I even ever met him, before I knew if I'd ever meet him, I watched his full wedding. Of course, I was watching it with other people in the living room and who were commenting left, right, and center. Hey, this, hey, that, hey. And
Wow,
as God would have it, a few months into life, we meet here on Good Morning Uganda. And rather interesting, as life always has its plans. We have Vera Paul on set this morning. He is a gospel musician, and as you've seen, he really has great music, and he's intentional with his craft. He's intentional with his videos alone. Let's talk about a little about your videos. How do you input so much into your videos? Because it's very easy to tell that you're intentional with your videos.
The input is really high. The input is really high, but it's worth it.
Right.
Because whatever that I have is not mine.
Amen.
When I was coming on this earth, I didn't come with anything. So anything that I have is something I've been blessed with. We are actually custodians. The Lord gives you, keep this. The Bagana say, so whatever we have belongs to the Lord. So anything that I can do for God is always a pleasure to me.
Good morning, Uganda. It's Ronnie from Ginger. I'm watching. Thank you, Ronnie, for being on the show. And as well, just like Ronnie, if you want to be on the show, 0709602592. Now, you have a brand new song that you released just recently, and it's one that we are also premiering here on Good Morning Uganda. It's called Sijakusirika.
Yeah,
What happened right to Sijakusirika, and what are you spilling? What tea are you spilling?
Sijakusirika is a song. Actually, I won't go into the details how this song came to, because most of my songs, by the way, Julie, I never sit down to write a song. I've never sat down. My wife knows. I've never sat down to write a song. But most of my songs, actually almost all of them, it's a revelation that drops. Then the lyrics start to drop.
And you just write them down.
The chorus, you feel the rhythm drops. Most of, there's my small Android phone, is where I always record.
Right, yes, yes.
I record, when the song drops, I record. So this song talks about how far God has carried us. The Lord gave me a revelation, Julie, that God allowed everything we see in the Bible to be written, to be noted, to be recorded, so that people can read and understand that He did all this. And God talking about some healing the woman with the flow of blood, God making the axe float, all those things. Why does God allow all those miracles to be written? So that each time people read about what He's able to do, that's how He gains His glory. Most of the times God does for us great things, and we just keep them to ourselves.
Right.
But God is not lifting you. God is not blessing you so that you can keep these things, you can keep them to yourself, you can feel good. So I remembered how far God has carried me. I come from a very, sometimes you guys call it humble. Mine was not even humble.
You are the poor.
It was beyond humble, below humble. So coming from that background, coming from that kind of life, and by the grace of God, you see God carrying Himself to where I am. People look at me now and say, Vera, you're blessed, Vera, you have this. But I'm telling you, this is the hand of God. So that's why I decided, I said, I will not keep quiet this time. I'll have to speak.
You shall
that even the neighbors will hear.
All right, let's get into some of the comments. Good morning, Uganda. This is Odaro Vincent from Tororo. I want to thank the guest in the house for singing inspirational songs. I have fallen in love with your music. I encourage you to continue praising God, even if you may encounter challenges, but God knows the plans He has for you. That's a message from Tororo. Another message coming through is good morning, Julie and Paul. Good morning, Julie and Paul. I'm Afande Jimmy. Actually, my simple advice to Paul is that, your music is very nice, but now you're passing a message of God in 2 languages only. How do you expect someone from Teso, Acholi, and maybe some parts of the country to hear the message you're passing out?
Maybe let me answer that one quickly. I have English songs. The songs are many. The songs are many. There are those in English, those in Luganda. The one we just entered into has French, Kinyarwanda, Luganda, and English. So I have those in Swahili. So I have very many languages.
So you can check out his YouTube channel, Very Paul, and get the whole plethora of craft and art that is on there. It was just a sample. He's good and focused. Keep up, my brother. This is Innocent from Ginger, and he says, God bless you. And finally, good morning, Uganda. It's Batistuta from Kenya. Vere is really top, especially his Swahili humor in the songs, really lovable.
Asanteni, Batista. Asanteni sana.
All right, thank you indeed, Batista, for being on the show and watching all the way from the 254. On that note, Vere, let's officially launch Sijaku Sirika as we close this particular one.
Sijaku Sirika. Ladies and gentlemen, don't keep, if God ever does for you something, God has given you life. Most of you were very much poor, but God has lifted you. Don't keep quiet. Testify. Let people know that there is a miracle-working God who does great things. So enjoy this beautiful song. Says, Sijja kusirika never neighbor kuruno bali no kuulira. Tikatonda jansi jensi yonna yakubimanya. Let's go. Hey.
Batula bakunyirira kale naye gye twava ebyaddala wakwasa n'ensonyi. Batula bakunyoleza nziga naye amaziga ge twayiwa gajjuza pipa. Ensi yali yanyweza zipata nazikutula ne tuyita muzije nzigule. Laba ekisajja kyatuwanika bali abanaku kakati batuyita sewu. Abatujerega nga byabasobera kyabasukkako kati emikono bassa ku ttama. Bye bayitanga ebitasoboka yakola kati bawoza Illuminati. Katonda ye yayamba natusitula bali bafala kati tuvimbira mu Kampala. Kuva masomero amabinge mumanyi natulondayo kati ne ku nnyonyi tubeerako. Sijja kugabana kitiibwa kye nedda sijja kusirika ku yakoze. Sijja kusirika be banneyiba balina okuwulira nga lwaki nsirika nali wuyo omukono gwe gwe gwamponya. Sijja kusirika be banneyiba balina okuwulira nga lwaki nsirika nali wuyo omukono gwe gwe gwamponya. Hey. Sebinganya kusirika mukama byakoze. Sijja kusirika be banneyiba balina okuwulira nga lwaki nsirika nali wuyo omukono gwe gwe gwamponya. Sijja kusirika be banneyiba balina okuwulira nga lwaki nsirika nali wuyo omukono gwe gwe gwamponya. Ulira luno teri kusirika yenda kwogera n'amatu g'ababaluke ate mulina okuwulira Katonda byakoze ensi yonna yakubimanya. Tebisirikirwa bino abali Kampala n'abalina okuwulira era balina okukimanya ne bali babala nayitawo teyakola. Hey.
That is Sijja Kusirika by Very Paul, a brand new one, and surely testify of the goodness of the Lord. Why keep quiet?
And I see you still got the moves.
Now let's close this very poll because we have to make way for Joanne to bring us to speed with the movies that we can look forward to during the weekend. But thank you so much, and allow me read your messages so that you receive your flowers while you still can. Thank you for the show. This is Apostle Rockstone Mwene. I like the way Minister Very Paul has represented the kingdom. Nange sija kusirika nedda.
I love you.
Good morning. And hello UBC. This is Innocent watching from Kamwenge. Thank you, Paul, for the nice song. Indeed, indeed. Thank you very much for being on. Up next is Joanne with the movie update. But for now, have a lovely one. Tetuja kusirika.
God bless you. We love you.
Right.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwao.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources, such as inspirational profiles.
Having a disability is not inability.
Every Friday, 9 p.m., it's one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwao.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there must be certain conditions in place.
Is it true that you paid 5 million shillings to MPs that voted for?
Was brought to you by.
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, may don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the MyNGN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Tarehe Sita is celebrated in Uganda to commemorate the start of the National Resistance Army's liberation struggle on 6th February 1981, an attack on Kabamba Barracks, leading to the NRM's rise to power in 1986 and the formation of the Uganda People's Defense Forces. The day symbolizes the foundation of the People's Army, national unity, and the ongoing commitment to peace, security, and socio-economic transformation. On Friday, 6th February 2026, the 45th Tarehe Sita anniversary will be celebrated under the theme Defending the Gains of the Revolution and Honoring the Sacrifices of the Freedom Fighters, a call for national unity, peace, and socio-economic transformation. The celebrations will take place at the National Teachers College grounds in Kabale Municipality. The activities will be relayed live on UBC TV.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning once again. For those of you who are just joining us this Friday, good morning, and I hope you had a very good weekend. Because it's indeed the truth, it is a Friday, the weekend is here. It is time to wind down a little bit and loosen up. Now, if your weekend plans involve watching a movie, here is a tearjerker movie that I personally recommend you to watch. I've had a chance to see the preview of this movie called Steve. It is a drama film that tackles being in charge of schoolboys with characteristics of disruptive behavior and social. Interesting. And of course, the production about the first who played what? Cillian Murphy is a Netflix special in which American climber Alex Honnold scaled the Taiwan skyscraper Taipei 101 without the use of ropes. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Taipei 101, it is 508 meters tall, and it was the tallest building in the world from 2004 to 2009. And as of 2026, it is the 11th skyscraper in the world and the tallest building in Taiwan. It was last climbed in 2004 by Elaine Roberts over the course of 4 hours in heavy rain and with a safety rope, meaning it wasn't a free solo climb. Well, what we mean by a free solo, you know, having to climb a skyscraper without ropes, without any safety equipment. So Robert did it in 2004, but he had a safety gear like ropes. But for this time round, Honnold does not have any safety gear to help him out. Let's first look at the trailer of this movie before I give you further details.
It's been a lifelong dream of mine to climb a skyscraper. So I'm going to be free soloing Taipei 101, one of the tallest buildings in the world. No ropes, no gear, just me in the building. I think I've gotten used to fear over the years. It's an ever-present part of climbing. No matter how much you prepare, occasionally things just happen. If you fall, you're gonna die.
People question soloing now that he's a dad, but this is who Alex is.
I have to fully focus on the task at hand and execute well. It will be the biggest urban free solo climb ever.
Yeah, now the cast, of course, involves Honnold, who is the solo climber and renowned for solo climbing. He has done solo climbing before, and when he climbed El Capitan Rock Formation, and that was in Yosemite National Park. That was in 2017. And the location of the movie, it was, of course, in Taiwan. And the method is free solo. I told you earlier on, no ropes, no safety equipment. And the production, the movie, the special was produced by Plimsoll Production. And about the release date, the event aired live. I repeat, it aired live on Netflix on January 25th, 2026. Though it faced some challenges, and there were some adjustments in scheduling. So for the movie lovers, that is what we had for you this weekend as kids go back to school next week on Tuesday, as we wind down the electoral process of voting. My name is Joanne Ena Moronji, and we shall be meeting on Monday with Julie F. Nantaba, Robert Chirabo, to the entire UBC production and technical team. You are doing an amazing job. Stay safe, keep safe, and drive responsibly. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Tarehe Sita is celebrated in Uganda to commemorate the start of the National Resistance Army's liberation struggle on 6th February 1981, an attack on Kabamba Barracks leading to the NRM's rise to power in 1986 and the formation of the Uganda People's Defense Forces. The day symbolizes the foundation of the People's Army, national unity, and the ongoing commitment to peace, security, and socio-economic transformation. On Friday, 6th February 2026, the 45th Tarehe Sita anniversary will be celebrated under the theme Defending the Gains